Hey everybody, welcome to the socaldramtram wham bam thank your ma'am. I'm Cesar.
I'm Matt. And today we're back. God damn it. I lost it. Let's try that again.
Alright, I'm Cesar.
And I'm Matt. And today we got another video for you in our budget series. That's right, guys. Budget series. We got 5 whiskeys under $30. And just to kind of give you a quick little backstory, I'm not going to go super into it. You can actually check out our other video right here. That was ranking number 5. Go check it out. Make sure you see what it's all about. And kind of hear us talk about the qualifiers and what we did to kind of determine them. But just a quick little overview. These are all whiskeys that were under $30 and they had to be readily available, meaning you could walk into any respectable liquor store and you could walk into like a supermarket and pick any one of these guys up. And today we have our number 4 ranking. Last week was number 5 and last week's video was Elijah Craig small batch. This week's video number 4 is going to be Larceny. Ooh. Larceny Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Ooh. I think, yes, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. This guy's going to be presented at 46% ABV or 92 proof. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. When we did this in the blind, this was actually my very first experience with Larceny, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Cesar's very first experience. Yeah, I was going to say, it's mine too. So tell me a little bit about your experience with this guy. Obviously, we tested him blind, but then we got to see the results. So what was your initial thoughts about this guy as we're kind of getting into it?
My initial thoughts, I was like, wow, I mean, this definitely is a bourbon. You could tell that it's a bourbon. But it was a little more spicier, a little more floral and spicier than I expected from a bourbon. So I was like, hey, Larceny, I like it.
Yeah, for sure. This one comes highly recommended from a friend of ours at work. When we first started kind of talking about doing socaldramtram as a channel, he's like, you guys got to do Larceny. You got to do Larceny. You got to do Larceny. I'm like, bro, relax, we'll get there. And we're finally here. So thanks a lot, Alex, for recommending it. We appreciate it. So my first initial thoughts on this guy when we did the blind was that I picked up a lot of kind of a creamy mouthfeel, but at the same time, I was getting a lot of barrel char. Interestingly enough, as I was looking at my notes, on the nose, I totally thought it was Irish, which was super interesting for me because I think the mash bill is corn, wheat, and barley, but I'll tell you, when it comes to bourbon, I really do like wheated bourbons. This one's a little bit lighter on the corn in the mash bill, and I think that's because that wheat gets raised up a little bit, and so this, for me, goes down a little bit smoother, but more importantly, it kind of gives a little bit more complexity to it. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the nose, because obviously it's been about 2 weeks since we went into the blind, so I'm curious to see what we get on it tonight. What are you getting off of it?
I get, some brown sugar, some good bourbon, a good bourbon smell out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's your typical bourbon notes. For me, I do get that cherry, which is always predominant in bourbon. You get a little bit of the char, but not much. It's not like overpowering at all.
I think this was a little sweeter smelling than the Elijah Craig.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get that vanilla, but it's definitely more like a sweet cherry, almost like a maraschino cherry that you'd get on like a banana split or a sundae from a restaurant or something like that. Yeah. So it's definitely like more sweet on the nose. I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip. Oh yeah, super creamy mouthfeel, especially on the initial palate. It kind of blows up, kind of like, almost like vanilla ice cream, right? Mm-hmm. But then right as you take it down, you get that spicy oak influence on the back end of the palate as it's going down. You get a little bit of that pepper, some oak spice. It's almost kind of like ice cream that's had like some cayenne mixed into the mix, and it's really got a nice finish. It's
funny that you say ice cream because to me it tastes like a waffle cone from an ice cream.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
It tastes really good, and I think it's I really like it because it's like a even distribution of sweetness and the oak as well. Like sometimes, to be honest, when I get wood or oak inside of a drink or a whiskey, it's usually the strong, like a really strong wooden note. But this is a even sweet, even wood that mixes together, and it finishes well too. Because when it's too woody, when it finishes, the wood's gonna like kick in over the sweetness. But this is a perfect distribution of them both. Like Larceny makes me want to commit grand larceny. This is really good.
Yeah, well, while you're sitting there committing crimes, I'm going to go ahead and stick to no nonsense. That's right, no nonsense whiskey is my coin today. Shout out to Vin, man. You're awesome. Thanks for reviewing that Ardbeg recently. I'm really thinking about picking that one up. What coin are you using today, Cesar?
Sorry, Vin. I'm all nonsense over here, bro. For my coaster coin, it's, yeah. And then for my topper coin is burnt toast, baby.
See, Drew, we're using your coin.
See, Drew, that's you.
So you said the waffle cone, right?
Yeah.
'Cause now, SOB, all I can think about is Disneyland.
Yeah,
and
to be honest,
ice cream.
So what I was thinking of is, so my mom used to work making waffles for California Adventures way back when they had those trains. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Right next to soaring over California.
I had to steal Caesar's move.
Right next to Soared over California. My mom used to work there making the waffle cones. And I remember she told me one time to try the brownie one. And oh my God, it's like a Cordova brownie and then a big waffle and the ice cream. And it was just heaven in my mouth. And I will always remember that moment. Thank you, Mama. I love you. Too bad that train's not there anymore. And it's something else now, like a shopping center or something. But anywho, sorry, folks. You're never going to experience that.
Or, you are. Who knows? You may live in Southern California or maybe plan a Disney trip. Don't judge. So, interestingly enough, I put a little bit of water on it, and I definitely prefer this one neat. With a little bit of water, I thought maybe because of that ice cream note, that creamy vanilla, I thought maybe it would just get a little bit more creamy with the water, maybe kind of tone it down a little bit and kind of just make it sweet. And it really just brought out a lot of the pepper. Where that's not like a bad thing. It's just I was looking forward to it with the water. And again, it's been a minute since we had it. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. And I'm actually going to put a little bit more whiskey in.
I'm going to dilute my whiskey with some more whiskey.
But I'm just going to hit it with a touch because I only put 3 drops of water in. Like we said in our last video, when we did this, we only put 3 drops of water in each of the glasses because we kind of wanted to put an even keel across the board. And there were 10 whiskeys.
Interesting.
But yeah, what are you getting with the water?
So, I mean, I definitely get pepper there, but for pepper, I usually hate that taste. But this is a really smooth pepper. I'm not gonna lie, it's a smooth pepper. So it's not too shabby. I thought I was expecting a bad pepper.
Yeah, I prefer it just with the whiskey.
Don't get me wrong. I prefer the whiskey alone for sure. But either way,
I only dropped a tad bit more whiskey in it, to be fair. And maybe instead of 3 drops, this is a 2-drop whiskey. Who knows? But I'll tell you, I forgot to mention the price on this, but this guy, I was lucky enough to pick it up at Cypress Craft Beer in Cypress, California. And this guy, they had it on sale. I think it was $18.99. So this was kind of a steal. That said, though, I routinely see it on shelves. I don't care if it's Albertsons, Total Wine, or Target for like $21. $21 if you are just getting into bourbon, or you're kind of like flirting with the idea of trying something. Maybe you're like, oh, what's the difference between like a wheated bourbon or, primarily corn, whatever the case may be. This is a good one to start out with. I think if you don't like it, it's not something that you're going to feel super guilty about having. And if you have people over, you can use it for like a bourbon and Coke, or, you can use it just for kind of like bottom shelf well whiskey, for lack of a better word. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with it, especially at the price that I got it for. Even if I had to pay $21, I'd still be impressed with it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 as well. I know I ranked our last one as a 3, but I think this sits comfortably. Being that it's number 4 in the ranking here, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. I definitely preferred it neat. Didn't hate it with the water, just didn't love it. So for me, it's a 3. What you got?
I'm going to rank it at a 2. I mean, I definitely prefer it without water. To be honest, it smells like a hot dog with a lot of mustard.
That's new.
I mean, that's just, it doesn't taste like that, trust me. But yeah, it smells like a hot dog with mustard.
Can confirm, no hot dog and mustard in this whiskey.
But I do prefer it neat for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. One, like I said before, I mean, a 2 I'd still buy again. It's just barely on the tip of buying it again.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Well, it's a 2 from Cesar. It's a 3 from me. Do us a favor. Hit us up in the comment section. Have you had Larceny? Have you had the Larceny barrel proof? Let us know, because I really want to try it.
Have you committed grand larceny?
If you have, I'm curious how you have the YouTubes. But hey, guys, let us know. Give us some feedback. We love chatting with you guys. We're still at that place where we can go ahead and chat with every single one of you guys, and we really love it. Do us a favor. Like the video. Hit the bell for notifications. And be sure to subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. We have all the socials. And be sure to stick around with us, guys. We really do appreciate you guys. Other than that, you got anything else to add?
Now, what about you, Matt?
Not much. All aboard. Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.